So I was at Walmart the other day picking up groceries. Ever since COVID, it's been easier to do the Walmart pickup. As I was sitting in my car, I saw a young lady rushing into her car. As she was rushing to the car, I also noticed that she was dragging a little girl behind her. She got in the car and started the engine. As she was driving away, there was a guy running behind the car while the little girl was saying daddy. And of course, everybody around was trying to talk to him, trying to tell him it's okay, trying to tell him it's gonna be okay. But I didn't really know the guy. I don't really know the story. I can't really tell what's really been going on in the relationship. And as I was sitting in my car waiting for the people to bring the groceries out, I was thinking about the amount of problems that a lot of parents have actually introduced to their kids over the fact that one parent did not want the child to be around the other parent. And sometimes I know there are so many reasons why you do not want your child to be around the other parent. If the mother or the father is abusing the child, I totally understand. It would be okay for them not to have a relationship because he or she doesn't really love the child. If the other parent is a drug addict, that's another problem. You do not want your child to be around that person. If the guy is a violent narcissist, again, you do not want your child to be around that person. In those cases, I totally understand and I support every bit of it. But my problem is when one parent decides to be petty to the point where they do not want the kids to be with the father or with the mother because they do not like the person anymore and they just want to do it anyhow, despite the kids not having a good relationship with the other parent, is going to affect them. And that's basically one of the main reasons why I decided to talk about this in this video. It's because I feel like a lot of people are actually putting voids inside of those kids because they are not allowing the kids to be with the other person simply because they do not love each other anymore, or maybe they had a rough relationship with the person, or maybe the person cheated on them. They took it in the personal level to the point where they are keeping that child to ever have an actual relationship with their dad or with their mommy. And this is very, very bad because this is one of the reasons why a lot of adults in today's reality are dealing with insecurities. They are dealing with that void because you always going to need two parents that are consistent and loving to be in your life, unless the person is a bad person, as I said at the beginning of the video. Because the same way a mother's love is important is the same way a father's love is important. Yes, of course, you might not see eye to eye with the other person, but if he is a good dad, if she is a good mother, there should be no reasons for you to try to take that away from the other parent, because it's not going to be beneficial for the child and it's not going to be beneficial for the other parent. You're going to keep building up that resentment. You're going to keep building up that void. At some point, you're going to open up a cycle that even the child probably going to feel comfortable doing to himself or to any other person that they were to be with in the future. I've even heard stories about people taking this to an extra mile when it comes to them putting words in the kid's mouth, as far as the kids saying things in front of the judge just so the other parent does not have a relationship with that child. If you are that kind of parent, I'm going to tell you, you are doing a bad job. You are doing a bad job. First thing first, you are teaching that child to lie. This is the first thing. You are giving that child a bad example. You cutting that relationship, that opportunity for the child to be with the other parent is not going to be a great deal. And you're going to see that within time. You might not realize it now. You might think that you're doing a great job. Whatever you are thinking right now, you need to stop it. If the person is not abusive, if the person do love his kids, if the person do love her kids, there should be no reasons why you are to keep those kids away from the other parent. That's why you always see a lot of young men that are always looking for that validation, that are always looking for that security, that are always looking to find a mentor just because they never had it. They always expect somebody to play that role despite them not expressing themselves the way they want to. That's why you're going to find a lot of young girls dating people they are not even supposed to date because there's a void. There's a constant void inside of them, regardless of how old they get, until they fulfill that void, it's going to be difficult for them to move forward without thinking about the possibilities of being with somebody to fulfill that void. So please, if you're thinking that you're doing a great job by doing that, please stop, because you're not. That's why sometimes when the kids start to get older, the first thing they're gonna do is to go to that parent that you did not want them to go to. And that's one thing you have to understand. If you keep holding on to the idea that you can keep a child away from the other parent, by the time they get older, they're gonna make the decision for themselves to understand who they really want to stay in their lives. And that's unfortunately what it's really going to come to. And I know a lot of people are going to tell me, oh yeah, but he has a stepdad, he has a stepmom. This is not the same thing. I'm going to tell you that. Despite the fact that the person could be a great stepdad, despite the fact that the person could be a great stepmom, just because their father or their mother is still alive and they do not have that connection with them, it's still going to be a void. So the next time you're feeling like hurting your baby mama or your baby daddy, do not use the kids to do your dirty work. Please do not use the kids to do your dirty work, because they're all going to be the one paying for it, not you. By the time you turn 50 or 60, you're already old. This is going to be the prime time, and they're going to be dealing with that constant void simply because the mother or the father did not think any other thing but to use them against the other parent. So please, if you really love your kids, I think it's time for you to rethink your options. Allow the person to see his kids, allow the person to see her kids, despite what type of relationship you have with the person. Understand that the relationship they're gonna have with their kids is completely different than whatever relationship they used to have with you. Let that go. If you're still feeling some type of way about it, maybe you need to go to therapy. I don't know. Maybe you need to see a professional. But right now, it's time to let it go, because you are going to hurt even more people than you can possibly think about. On that note, I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. If I've missed something in the process, feel free to let me know in the comments below. Until then, take care of yourselves and each other. Peace.